Today we have brought you the latest Tesla news. Tesla Giga Berlin starts working in 2 shifts to ramp up production. Tesla agrees to build battery and EV factory in Indonesia, official says. Environmental groups look to halt Tesla's battery plant permits at Gigafactory Texas. And Tesla structural battery pack is removable, but it is quite an ordeal. Let's get into all the details. So let's get started. Tesla Giga Berlin is introducing a second shift, starting Friday. This should help ramp up production faster to meet the growing demand for their electric vehicles as soon as possible. Tesla is introducing a second work shift at Giga Berlin, starting May 20, people familiar with the matter said. This means that the company can produce cars there around the clock, which will greatly contribute to the increase in production. Due to a disruption in the supply of components from China, production had increased more slowly than originally expected. However, the situation is beginning to improve. Chinese enterprises have begun to restore their work, and soon the components for the production of Model Y in Germany will begin to arrive in full. The ramp-up of production at Giga Berlin is essential, as Tesla was unable to produce cars at Giga Shanghai for 3 weeks in Q2. This dealt a significant blow to the company's performance in the quarter, but there is reason to believe that, thanks to Giga Berlin and Giga Texas, the number of deliveries in this quarter will be equal to that in Q1, that was approximately 310,000 units. Tesla CEO Elon Musk said that although production slowed in Q2, the company will produce a really large number of vehicles in Q3 and Q4. With all 4 of the manufacturers' factories open, it's clear that 2022 will be full of pleasant surprises. Tesla has been building Model Y crossovers at Giga Berlin since March 22. Despite this, the facility itself has not fully completed all the requirements for its environmental approval. The state government has given the nod for such a setup, since Giga Berlin will be put into operation in stages anyway. Moving to the next update, Tesla agrees to build battery and EV factory in Indonesia, official says. Tesla has reportedly agreed to build a battery and electric vehicle factory in Indonesia, according to the country's head of investments. The comment comes after Musk met with the Indonesian president. Last week, there were reports on Tesla being rumored to be near a deal for a battery venture in Indonesia after a new round of talks with representatives of the automaker and the Indonesian government. However, it wasn't the first time that talks of Tesla making a major investment in Indonesia had emerged. In 2020, there were reports on Tesla allegedly being in talks with the Indonesian government to build a new nickel venture in the country, which has a strong nickel reserve, as nickel is one of the main materials used in the production of cathodes for battery cells used in electric vehicles. The move came after CEO Elon Musk pleaded with mining companies to increase their nickel production. Later, there were reports that Tesla was actually in talks with Indonesia, not just about nickel, but to possibly build a full battery factory in the country. After a pause in the talks, things ramped up again earlier this month after Tesla sent a group to Indonesia to talk with the government and Elon Musk met with President Jokowi Widodo. Now a week later, the local news report that Tesla has agreed to a deal to build a battery and electric vehicle factory in Indonesia. Tesla agreed to build a battery and electric vehicle plant at an industrial complex in central Java province, following stateside talks last weekend between President Joko Widodo and Tesla chief Elon Musk, Investment Minister Balal Lahadalia said on Wednesday. Lahadalia did clarify that nothing is signed yet, but he did say that it was agreed. God willing, Tesla will enter Indonesia this year. But I can't announce the month yet. Let's wait, because we haven't signed an agreement yet. How much investment is still being kept secret, still waiting. But this is good stuff, big stuff, Lahadalia said. He didn't elaborate on the details of the plan, but both a factory for batteries and for electric vehicles were mentioned. Musk previously said that Tesla aims to announce locations for new factories by the end of the year. But we would still take it with a grain of salt for now. It looks like a decent source, but it's better to be careful until anything is signed. It would be a big deal for Tesla, since it would likely come with them, securing a large supply of nickel. Indonesia has introduced regulations that force companies to process the nickel locally, so it's not that big of a jump for them to make the full battery cells locally, but building the full electric vehicles in Indonesia is more surprising, though not impossible. Moving to the next update, environmental groups look to halt Tesla's battery plant permits at Gigafactory Texas. Environmentalists and activist groups are setting their sights on Tesla's Gigafactory Texas. In a letter to Mayor Steve Adler, the groups called on the city to withhold permits for the electric vehicle maker, including Giga Texas's dedicated battery cathode facility. The groups include East Austin-based group POTR, the Texas Anti-Poverty Project, and the Hornsby Bend Alliance, among others. In their letter, the groups claimed that the manufacturing process of batteries in the Giga Texas complex would require a substantial amount of water and chemicals. This could result in the formation of a hazardous waste stream, according to the groups. Right now, Tesla is planning to build, in addition to their 4.2 million square foot car factory, a toxic battery cathode plant along the Colorado River, near neighborhoods that do not have access to satisfactory affordable water, while the company is planning to receive vast amounts of water from the city of Austin for its industrial operations. We are counting on you, our representatives, to hold the company accountable to the public interest before further harm is done to communities and the environment, the groups noted in their letter. The groups also complained about Tesla's rapid construction of Giga Texas, as well as the fact that the company is yet to start building Elon Musk's promised ecological paradise in the area. A social media campaign by some of the groups involved in the initiative has also been launched. Moving to the last update, Tesla's structural battery pack is removable, but it is quite an ordeal. Tesla's latest service manual does reveal that Tesla's structural battery pack is removable, something that was thought of as a problem due to the design. It's actually doable, but it is quite an ordeal. When Tesla introduced its new 4680 battery cell at its Battery Day in 2020, it featured several major improvements on its own, but it also enabled this idea of a structural battery pack. The idea was to make those new battery cells part of the structure of the new vehicles. Inspired by the aerospace innovation of building airplane wings as fuel tanks, instead of building the fuel tanks inside the wings, Tesla decided to build a battery pack that acts as a body structure, linking the front and rear underbody parts, while the battery cells themselves contribute to the integral structure of the pack and therefore the whole car body. The result is quite elegant. They call it a structural battery, meaning that the battery is not just an energy device, but an actual structural part of the vehicle. It brought obvious advantages in terms of weight and simplicity of manufacturing. Tesla originally announced that the new design reduces overall vehicle mass by 10% and increases range by 14%. But on the other hand, it did raise a few questions about what happens if you need a battery pack replacement, since the pack is now part of the body. Now that we have access to Tesla's service manuals for the new Model Y with structural battery pack, we can actually see that the pack is removable and replaceable, but it is quite an ordeal. According to the service manual, it takes a total of 143 steps just to remove the structural battery pack. We won't go through all of them because it would take forever, but it involves basically removing a large part of the interior of the vehicle before actually starting to work on the pack. Once removed, the vehicle looks fairly strange since it's as if the whole floor is gone. Then you have another 171 steps to put a new battery pack in there for a total of 314 steps to replace a structural battery pack. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be done too often. That's it for now. So what are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments. Stay tuned at the Electric Arena for all the latest Tesla and electric vehicle news.